Hey, everybody. Welcome to part two of our travel guide to traveling with PPS, which is going to be about booking your trip once you've had your pre travel authorization approved. So, last time we talked about how to get that pre travel form filled out so that you have all your costs laid out. And once you submit that, usually you'll wait a week or two, and then you'll get back some approval. And once you're approved, you can begin booking your trip. So, what's involved in booking your trip? So, in that approval letter that you get from the travel desk, you will see a kind of a block of text talking about Travel CTM. So, Travel CTM is the company that PPS contracts with to manage all of our travel. And so they will send like information to go sign up on their website. There's also a phone number that you can call if you prefer to do it that way, but we'll talk about the online version today. So you can head over to this website, and we'll do that in just a second. So why do we want to use Travel CTM? Travel CTM basically saves us from having to book our own like room on the credit card. So like if you're going to go for a trip, let's say you go to San Francisco and you're going to go away for 5 or 6 days, that could easily be $2,000 in hotel fees that you put on your credit card, and then you're sort of encumbered with that until you get your reimbursement, which is until you like after you get back from the trip, you submit your forms, and then you have to wait a little while for that to happen. So by going through CTM, it's all on all the district's cards, and you have a central place to manage your trip. So very recommended. And ultimately, our goal when we're booking is to focus on your training and conference. Your training and conference that you're going to. So you want to make decisions that have you fresh and ready to learn. And so that means thinking about things like booking a hotel that's close to where you're going to get trained. Making sure you have a flight that lets you enjoy the whole conference, gets you in maybe the day before, right? So we talked about some of those things in the pre-travel authorization form. So let's take a look at the CTM site. So here's what the CTM site looks like. It's pretty straightforward. You'll generate a login, and when you log in, it'll take you to like a pretty standard just like travel booking website. So when you book your travel, if you're going to fly and if you're going to get a hotel, so you might, you just have check options here. Maybe you just need a hotel because you're going to drive somewhere. Maybe you need both. So in this case, I'm going to book both a flight and hotel just for the example. I'm going to start off by zooming in so we can see a little bit better. And I'm just going to pretend I have a conference coming up next month in San Francisco. So I'm going to head from PDX and I'm going to go to SFO. And I'm going to depart. Let's just say I'm going to leave on Sunday the 28th. And you know what? I'm okay leaving in the morning. I got nothing too exciting going on. So I'll show up a little bit early, and I'm going to come back on Friday night. And you know what? I really want to make sure I arrive or leave in the evening, because I want to make sure that I can attend the whole day on Friday of my conference. And then I'm going to say, San Francisco is my hotel search location. And this will just give me a list of like all the hotels in there. If I was if this is kind of a real conference I was going to, I might do a little bit of research on my own on the hotels, and I might type in like a street or something like that would help me get something very close to my destination. Okay, so now I'm going to hit search, and it's going to take a little bit of time and do a little bit of thinking. And then it is going to pop out this list, which is super useful. So on this list, you're going to see this kind of grid here at the top. The grid's pretty useful. So the columns are telling you how many stops. In this case, we only have non-stops to pick from, and I highly recommend that you pick such things, the non-stops. And then it gives us 2 company preferred airlines. Sometimes there'll be more. There'll be like if there's more flights to this location, there'll be ones that aren't company preferred. That might be because it's expensive or not a normal airline. You can pick those, but you might have to justify it a little bit. But we got lots of choices, so we'll start with there. So you can sort by price. You can adjust the departure time. So like, let's say I didn't love that they were giving me choices at 6 a.m. I might say, let's scoot it a little bit later, and aha, there we go. Now I got an 8 a.m. That seems much more manageable for a Sunday flight. I can adjust my arrival, and I can play around with my departures. So you can see right off the bat, I did pretty good. I have an 8 a.m. flight that leaves in the morning. That's what I wanted. And I have a flight at 10 o'clock, which, maybe is a little late, but it's definitely after the end of my conference, so I might like that. So I might do a quick scan to see if there's any other flights that look pretty good. Ooh, I like this one. That's a little close to the end of my conference. I might have to leave a little early. Maybe I'll cross that off for now. This one definitely doesn't work for the return. So, okay, this is 100% my pick. So I'm going to pick this. I'm going to click select. And then I'm going to get, just like I'm ordering any sort of plane ticket, they're going to give me my seat selection choices. So I will pick a couple of spots in row 28, and I'll click through. So once you've kind of booked the airfare part of the thing, now it's going to kick you up to the hotel menu because I clicked both of those boxes. So you can see here that I have, airport, city, or address, and I have, my current things. I can sort by distance from a specific location. Let's click on preferred hotels for a second. So this might give us some hotels that they particularly like. Well, notice these ones are all sold out. So let's hide sold out. That'll give us a little more things. So now we have a few different hotels here. So we got a lot of hotels that are on the pretty cheap side, and we might not know where they are. So like, oh, let's check out this Best Western. Okay, so this Best Western is, not exactly sure where that is. It's kind of by the 101, but maybe I'm trying to stay a little bit more over here. So I have to look around, figure out exactly where I might want to stay. You can see that I can sort by prices. I can sort by, all sorts of different things. So let's say I decide that I want to stay at this courtyard downtown. That looks great. I don't know why. So I'll click on it. And then when I click on it, it'll actually give me the actual specific rooms here. And this is actually, the prices will be slightly different. So for instance, there's the AAA deals, there's senior discounts, there's all sorts of interesting things. So in this case, I'll just pick the king size bed regular rate. So I'll pick that. And you'll see here that it'll double check the prices. It'll give you the prices including taxes, so that's pretty useful. And hey, this is under my budget, so I should be pretty good. You'll see here that says per diem 107 or 270 US dollars. That's kind of like when they're looking at hotels, like they sort of think that's what hotels in San Francisco should cost. So that kind of changes based on your town. So you obviously can use this to fill out your pre-travel authorization form, which is really helpful too. So I shall select the room. And so now it is going to get this trip kind of all primed up. So you can see here, I can double check my flights. I can go down here. I could, for instance, change some of these contact information things if I wanted, but I'm not going to worry about that. It gives me a total for my trip, which I can compare to my thing. And then I get the purchase trip button, which I'm not going to do because I'm not approved to go on this fantastical trip. Anyways, so what happens now? So if I clicked on the purchase trip button, then what's going to happen is it's going to kick an email back to Travel CTM, who is going to then be like, oh, is there a pre-travel authorization form sitting there for this trip? They're going to queue up that trip and then see if the prices are match basically what everybody sort of expected. And then they'll pull the trigger on it if it's within the budget, and voila, it will work. Now, let's suppose that our plane tickets weren't such a reasonably priced $166. Really makes you want to take a trip. Let's say these ended up being $350 and we'd only put $300 for the flight. So what'll happen is that, well, you still got to get down there. So you'll try to book it, and then some stuff will happen behind the scenes where people will be like, oh, do we have an extra $50 to cover this flight? And likely you'll get an email saying yes, or hey, we found you a different flight that meets the budget. So those are the possibilities. Okay, so that is your booking experience. So again, think about, make sure that you're picking flights and travel times that make sense for you, and do it as soon as you can. Next time, we'll talk about what to do when you get back. Cheers.